They say they brought us here for our own safety. Daddy, the war, and everything else. Nanny gave us her house and she went to look after the mansion. It's weird being back here after so many years. I remember Nanny telling me the fairy tale of the Lady of the Lake. It's one of the few happy memories I have from when I was little. Nanny isn't here and that's a shame, but Martha is here with me. I also get to see Lapo more often, which is wonderful. He's always hanging around here. Mum is thankfully too preoccupied with fixing up the house to worry about me. At least for now. July 16th, 1944. There's something creepy about the woods. Every time I'm at the lake, I get a strange feeling. Maybe it's the legend of the White Lady playing tricks on me. I get weird ideas. I think that there is this presence. Then I think I'm just being crazy. Anyway, crazy or not, I want to take some pictures. I'm not scared. In fact, I'd say I'm excited. I've made arrangements with Martha. She's coming to the lake with me tomorrow to set up 2 new cameras with timers, and we'll see what we can photograph. Not before a good swim, of course. To be honest, Martha doesn't like photography all that much, and recently she's gone off swimming too. But she does like spending time with me by teasing me. Then, when she gets bored, she disappears into her books, and I do my own thing. We feel right when we're together. July 16th, 1940. Martha loved makeup, unlike me. She was so feminine and also just a little bit vain. This is not the right key. I must get her key if I want to know what's inside her trinket box. Martha's clothes. To me, wearing them will be like having her with me. Mummy will also be happy to see them. Or I could wear my clothes in the other wardrobe.
I'll be right there. I'm just going upstairs to call Martha down for breakfast. Fine, but I'm not sure we should let her sleep all day. What do you think? What did you say? Okay, I won't wake her up. I'll just turn on her light. So when she wakes up, she'll know when to come down for breakfast.
They really think I'm Martha and I can't hear them. I need to be careful not to talk, or I will be in serious trouble. How wonderful the snow is. Unfortunately, it doesn't snow often around here. It's locked. Strange. Why did they lock my room? As a child, when I spent those short years with the nanny, this was my room.
Martha's breakfast is ready. We can go.
Yes. It's getting late.
Did you leave the newspaper for Martha? You know how much she likes reading it.
Yes, Irena. It's on the table, can't you see?
And that camera, are you leaving it there?
Yes, Irena. Can't you leave it there for a few more days? Do you mind? It was for Julia. I will take it away soon. I promise. The thought makes me so sad. Seeing it there is as if... I don't know how to explain it.
All right. But let's go now. We have too much to do. We can't stay here all day talking.
Mummy is right, though. Martha always read everything. It's me who will now read the newspaper instead. They'll be out all day. The funeral preparations will take them a long time. Everything is more complex with the war. Over the next few days, I will see little to nothing of them. Bread, butter, jam, and coffee. Martha's typical breakfast. I prefer honey and milk, but I'll have to adapt to her tastes, obviously. Chocolate, a privilege for few people in these times. For Julia, to take more and more photos, Dad. I can verify that the camera is still working by taking a photo. I could photograph a sparrow. There are so many of them out here. There might be birds around the little wall in front of the house. I always put crumbs on it for them. Brutal assassination in San Casciano. Julia Kay, a young woman from a respectable family, brutally murdered near her home. Carabinieri investigates. A possible political motive emerges. Martha was not killed by politics or war. She was killed by something much closer and much less clear. I will find out the truth. Firm bulwark even in the skies. 159 aircraft of the Germanic defense shot down in 24 hours. Major Russian operation northwest of Jassy. Enemy convoy lost in the Mediterranean. 2 destroyers and 6 merchant vessels sunk. Julia Kay. Distressed but supported by faith. Irenei the mother, Erich the father, and Martha the sister sadly announced Julia's passing. The funeral will take place in La Romola, Thursday, July 20th at 9:30 p.m., departing from the property of the deceased. Brutal assassination in San Casciano. Julia Kay, a young woman from a respectable family, brutally murdered near her home. Carabinieri investigates. A possible political motive emerges. First improvements in food registration. Bread rations increased by 50 grams per day as of April 20th. A kilo more every month of soup ingredients. Reforms to the treatment of agricultural workers and an unexpected distribution of jam. I liked watching Nanny as she cooked. I always picked up loads of techniques. We are so lucky. In these difficult times, pantries are empty and people are going hungry. But with a German general for a father, food is never scarce. One of Daddy's many photos. Who knows who these other people are?
Bonsi, on the day of St. Alexis. The battle rages in the city tormented
Florence,
by
July 15th,
Anglo-American bombing.
1944.
Our Lady
General
of Carmel,
Erich K.
a company of the Falcium Regiment,
As per our prior
counterattacked
agreement, we are
yesterday,
sending you military
forcing the
encrypted
French to
communication
retreat to
material.
Piazza del
The
Mercato.
device must remain
The
hidden and
situation is
secret.
currently under control.
Hail. Feldmaskeralo, Carl H. A telegraph box. I know how to use it. Daddy taught me. Daddy, Mummy, and my grandparents. It seems almost impossible that Father is a soldier. Mother would have been more suitable if she wasn't a woman. Lorenzini haberdashery. 5 meters of grey cotton fabric. 6 meters of white linen fabric. 4 meters of green satin. Delivered on June 5th, 1944. In the event of an issue, contact us on the number 6987. And this red fabric? It's not been mentioned. Could this also be one of Mummy's, or could the nanny have left it here? Our wine. Daddy is so proud of it. These could be of use to me. Mummy's sewing machine. She learnt how to sew because nobody else could do it to her liking. Daddy set up his darkroom here. He doesn't take photos anymore because of his work, but photography is still his true passion. I'm allowed to use the darkroom when I want to. I can't develop the photo like this. I can't develop the photo like this. There are 3 baths when developing photos. The development bath, then the first rinse, and then the fixing bath. The second rinse is done directly in the sink afterwards. Old photographs that Father took of this house. When I was little, these barrels seemed enormous. I thought I could live inside one. The photo is burnt. Sadly, it needs to be thrown away. My bike. The wheel is deflated as usual. A bicycle pump will solve this. I came here to fish when I was little. I went with that ever-so-kind man who worked for my father. Who knows where he is now? Maybe he joined the war too. I always wanted to swim here when I was with Nanny, even when it was cold. The cows. That must be Chinsey and her little calf. It was always fun to watch the goats get milked. Ice was one of the more agitated ones and would always drive Nanny crazy. I was afraid of animals when I was little. I never approached them alone. Best to stay close to home, at least for now. This is the centre of our farm, but since we moved here, it hasn't worked like it used to. Security matters, Daddy says. Excellent. I've taken the picture, now it's straight to the darkroom in the cellar to print it. Daddy recently became a general in the German army. He used to take pictures on the front lines, but now he gives me the materials to take photographs instead. Now that Martha is gone, only this camera can fix my ideas and my memories. I can't allow myself to forget. I can't develop the photo like this. Not a bad photograph. It seems that the camera works perfectly. Now I can take a self-timed photo for Martha's frame. Camera is set up with the self-timer. It's always a thrill to develop a photo. You can't see anything at first, yet something invisible is captured on the black film. A kind of ghost. That invisible breath then returns to reveal the reality from which it was torn. There are those who say that photography steals the soul or captures it. That's why they used to photograph the dead, but nowadays almost nobody does it anymore. Even if it's just a delusion, I want to photograph Martha. I want to have a small reflection of who she was with me. But I have to do it secretly or they'll think I'm crazy. I can't develop the photo like this. Yes, this is me. No one was ever able to tell us apart. But I never had the slightest doubt, and nor did Martha. It's strange how what identifies us most deeply is not visible to anyone. I was obsessively thinking about Martha and what had happened. But suddenly, a thought took control. The memory of that day at the lake was becoming more and more like a dream when, after awakening, the image becomes more and more faded. Could it be that the memories were a figment of the mind? Had I been the one that hurt my sister? I had always envied her, and now I had taken her identity. I experienced a suffocating pattern of thoughts. I decided to go straight to the lake to retrieve the film rolls. They would tell a different story, I was sure. But deep down, I kept hoping they would confirm my fading memory. Of course the door is locked. The keys aren't hanging on the lock as usual. Then they will be in Daddy's study. We live in fear now. My parents are not going to let me go to the lake anymore after Martha's death. So this is the right time. I need to know. The self-doubt I feel is eating me up. Here's the camera flash. Now I can photograph Martha even in the dark. Daddy's stuff. War maps. I've heard everything will play out on this new defensive line. It's dangerous using a gas lamp indoors. I could set something on fire. I should put the lamp down before entering the house. Done. It would be nice to have you always by my side, even if it's just a picture. With this lens, I can shoot very close up. Orange filter. When there is fog, it improves the image by giving it some contrast. A lens and a roll of infrared film. They can photograph what the naked eye cannot see. A photograph is both the present and the past, like a dead body. I don't know what I'm expecting. Maybe it's silly to think you can capture the soul of someone who has died. But I have to do something for her. Anything. Who knows? Her face can no longer tell me if what happened was my fault. I should have known that already. All I can do is head to the lake and get those rolls. I love the night, but this night scares me. In the dark, I can feel all the harm I've caused. It's getting closer with each step. I feel it brushing up against me like a cold wind. I hurt Martha. The closer I get to the lake, the more certain I am of this. How could it not be? I killed her to steal the love that everyone felt for her but didn't feel for me. How could I have done such a thing? German soldiers. Daddy ordered patrols to be carried out near the house, but how could they have lost a helmet? God only knows. Oh no! Damn lamp! Luckily I still have my lighter with me. The cameras are somewhere around here. A shred of fabric here in the woods. How strange. Let's take a photo. 2 cameras left. How could it have ended up here? It looks familiar. One more camera to collect. That's it. I've got them all. These films are going to help me understand what happened. Now I should rush home to develop them.
Julia. Julia.
I have to wash up and do what needs to be done. If I'm sick, I have little time. The truth awaits me. It must be hidden within those rolls. That's better. But I still don't understand all of that blood. That's never happened to me before. But I'm not going to tell my doctor, otherwise he'll make me stay in bed and rest. It's very rude, but I could pick up the phone and listen to their conversation.
How are you doing today, Rennie?
I'm worried, Father. Very worried. We found more partisan tracks in the woods, right next to the house. That Lapo, I suspect he may be involved in the death of...
No, please don't say that. It's not possible. I know the boy and I don't...
Father, anything is possible in these dark times. Anything. That boy didn't even come to say goodbye to Julia. Didn't they love each other dearly?
He must be terribly scared, and Julia always used to say that.
Yeah, sure, she used to say they were just friends, but you know too, right? Friends are not supposed to do such things, Father. Or are they? But anyway, you're defending them both. You, my husband, and even the nanny who, deep down, is a good woman.
The nanny? I believe the nanny is the one who hurt Julia. With her evil passion for those cards, they are cursed things. I hope you made them disappear.
Of course. I keep them safe in my room. Anyway, you must forgive me, Father. I have to go. They've come to pick me up. Have a good day.
You too.
Lapo's involved in Martha's death. My mother is losing her mind again. How could anyone even imagine such nonsense? And Don Attilio, he is a great friend, but what a weird view. Those cards are just a game, but most importantly, they're mine. Why on earth did they take them from me?
Following the dramatic news from the countryside, Archbishop Toccarelli will protest with the French in the city for the raping being committed by invading troops. New ordinance for the safety
General
of
Edict
citizens.
K. New
This
rules
moment
on curfew
it
and
is
women's
forbidden
behaviour.
for anyone to leave their
German
homes
command of
and
S. Vincenzo
walk the
Attori.
streets of
Telephone
San
number
Cassiano.
1185.
All windows, including cellars, house entrances, and doorways, must remain closed night and day. The population are advised to stay
The
in
radio
their
needs to be
cells,
kept on
or,
at all times
where
these
these
days.
do not
It
exist,
can save your life
churches
knowing things
and
on
other
time,
large buildings.
especially before they
The
happen.
patrols of German armed forces have orders to shoot at people who are on the street, or who are found looking out of their windows. I shall repeat for clarity. New ordinance for the safety of citizens. From this moment on, it is forbidden for anyone
25
to leave their
ISO
homes
film.
and
When the sun is high in the
walk
sky,
the
it's
streets of
perfect.
San Cassiano. All windows, including cellars, house entrances, and doorways, must remain closed night and day. The population are advised to stay in their cellars, or, where these do not exist, churches and other large buildings. The patrols of German armed forces have orders to shoot at people who are on the street, or who are found looking out of their windows.
Dear Mother, this is hard, but I have something to tell you. I found out that Julia is pregnant. Go to the lake tomorrow morning at 7 and watch her as she bathes. You'll see that her tummy is growing. Martha. What? I'm not pregnant. Why is everything becoming even more confusing? I'm searching for an explanation, but instead I'm left with more questions. Mummy's medicine. Will they do her any good? Romola, 15th of July 1944. Dear Mrs. Irene, I'm writing to let you know that all is well here at the villa. Thank you for being so considerate and caring. I apologize for the simplicity of the housing you were forced to live in. I also locked the room where the little one used to stay as requested. I've left you the key. It is the one with the pink keyring. Try to stay safe. Best regards, Nanny. Why on earth did Mummy have that door locked? It was my room. What is she trying to hide? This is Mummy's jewellery. She wears them every day, even though Daddy says it's impractical and dangerous to show signs of wealth these days. As usual, she doesn't want to listen to reason and ends up arguing with Daddy until he goes to play war, as she says. Pervitin again. I feel like these pills do nothing other than agitate her. Dad loves these prints of Florence. I find them a bit sad. The Superior Commander of the German Federal Armed Forces announces 1. Whoever is in possession of weapons or explosives not reported to the German headquarters will be shot. 2. Whoever harbors bandits and/or protects them and provides them with clothing and/or weapons will be shot. 3. Whoever is aware of the existence of any rebel groups or even lone rebels without reporting them will be shot. I don't have the courage to use the phone. Not right now. A tripod is necessary to take photos with long exposures. I have found what I need to take infrared photos. July 18th. Everything has changed. I feel like a different person. The best part of me left with Martha. My enthusiasm, my desire to live, and the will to joke around. I find myself alone, left to my own devices, confused with no desire or expectations. I was handling the cameras at the lake and there was a floating body on the water. I don't remember what I was doing before. Yet another memory lapse. That lifeless body was Martha's, my sister. Mummy ran up to me and hugged me, thinking I was Martha and that I, Julia, was dead. I didn't correct her mistake and now it's too late. If they find out I have been fooling everyone, I don't even want to think about it. I feel terribly guilty pretending to be Martha, pretending to be deaf. I took the photo for Martha's frame. I know it's too late now, and I felt incredible pain placing the picture. I said goodbye to her forever in that moment. I realized she was gone, and there was no going back. I must do one thing for Martha. I must find out what happened. The partisans couldn't have killed her. That's just ridiculous. Lapo is my friend, and he is one of them. He loved us so much. We know all of them. So it's just impossible. I need the tripod, lens, and infrared film to take the photo I need of the grave. I need the tripod, lens, and infrared film to take the photo I need of the grave. My mother's tailor scissors. I need the tripod, lens, and infrared film to take the photo I need of the grave. I need the tripod, lens, and infrared film to take the photo I need of the grave. Here are my cards. Nanny and I always used to play with them. She would predict my future and I pretended to predict hers. The future was always good for everyone. Maybe when she read them, she saw my true future, which she hid from me. Or more likely, these cards are actually just a stupid game to reassure and deceive oneself with. But deceiving oneself is sometimes necessary. How can we live happily otherwise? There are more and more weapons around, and everyone is scared after what happened.
Posa la mano sul mio cuore, mio tenero amore, battere ogni orlo senti di palpiti cocenti, mar d'onde s'io possa arcano, d'amor sovramano. Tu sei la mia speranza, io vivo sol per te. Cedi a questo amor deliro, credi, io sol per ti respiro, vive non posso se tu crudi non m'ami, brami ben morir saprò.
This lens increases the framed area. It allows me to fit more into the image. Red filter for super high contrast photos. With this lens, everything gets bigger. The end of a relationship. It's very clear, but my plans will be successful. I only need to know what these plans are. The end of a relationship. It's very clear, but my plans will be successful. I only need to know what these plans are. I have to be careful and keep the volume down as I listen. I must go unnoticed. I am meant to be deaf after all.
Ready? Julia! You ready?
Sure, Daddy. I'm good to start.
I've already started recording.
Oh, no, my voice will sound awful.
No way, come on. Didn't you want to study singing anyway?
No, I was young and stupid when I said that.
Okay. Ready?
Go. Oh, how nice. It's the rehearsal for last week's concert. I never heard the recording. But I was right, my voice is awful. Cannot be called singing. Anyway, it's time I develop these film roles. I can't wait any longer. I wish I could just stop time. These images could change everything. I cannot bear the fact that I may have hurt Martha. I would rather die. Damn my head and these memory lapses. It's such a pain not remembering. It's like getting lost inside yourself. Yes, I've undressed and I'm about to dive in. This matches my memory. Here I was running toward the pier, just as I remember. I'm carrying Martha to shore. I'm trying to save her. My memories, although fuzzy, do match reality. I feel a little better. Now I can find out who really hurt Martha. Maybe I should meet with the White Lady. She might be able to tell me something. Is this crazy talk? Yes, definitely. But what's normal about any of this? Maybe you have to be a little crazy to get anything done.
Los, schnappen wir uns diese Bastarde! Los! Hey! Los geht's!
Hier lang! Hier drüben!
Oh! Hey! Vorwärts! Hier! Sie sind da lang! Verdammt!
Los, laufen!
What is going on here? What are the soldiers doing? It's dangerous, I know, but I want to follow them and see what's happening.
Verdammt!
Oh God, please no. Lapo, my dear friend. What have they done to you? Your handkerchief was the symbol of what you believed in. At least that is left of you. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone and I cannot reconcile myself.
Du hast ein Mädchen erschossen, du Idiot.
Scheiße, scheiße, scheiße! Was machen wir jetzt? Sieh mal, was sie um ihren Hals hat. Sie ist eine von ihnen. Es musste getan werden.
Sie ist die Tochter von General Erich K., du verdammter Trottel. Sie war die Freundin von diesem armen Kerl. Oh, verdammt, jetzt sind wir wirklich am Arsch.
Scheiße, lass uns abhauen. Aber sie lebt noch.
Sie liegt im Sterben. Siehst du, wo du sie getroffen hast? Sie ist bestimmt schon tot. Wir müssen jetzt abhauen, sonst sind wir auch bald tot.
I'm dying, I thought, but strangely enough, I wasn't afraid. In fact, I was almost relieved. When I returned, I found myself once again in the midst of a bad dream. One whose meaning I did not understand at the time. I give you back your appearance. 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 I give you back your appearance.
Two sisters were destined to die. Julia, the first sister, and Martha, the second. On Julia's day of departing, identical twins stood before me, impossible to tell apart. They questioned my presence, since they were still so young. Julia must come with me, I demanded, but they both claimed to be Martha. I explained that Martha's fate was soon to be the same, and their games were useless. I didn't have time for it. The war was keeping me busy. But they didn't concede, and instead kept insisting. Can we follow you together? No, impossible. Are you sure Martha will die too? Nothing is certain in wartime. What if the wrong person went with you? Then you would have cheated death. One would die unjustly, and the other would simply be delaying her fate. They discussed amongst themselves, then hugged before one of them came forward. She stared in a determined, almost threatening manner. I guessed it was Martha sacrificing herself, giving more time to her sister. But I stayed silent, not to reveal their failed deception. No one lies to the face of their own death, so I asked how their choice was reached. We drew lots by throwing a medallion, she said quietly. They had trusted in fate. Oh, how naive they were. They knew fate plays by its own rules, which is true, but it is also my ally. Fate never would have allowed the wrong girl to follow me. In that case, my work was done. She must have been Julia. However, little to my knowledge at the time, that blasted medallion had the same name engraved on both sides. Martha's. So, my first assumption was correct. They were too damned smart, and had fooled both fate and me. One thing is for sure. I'll put things back where they belong, I will correct my ignorance and give fate back its blindfold.
Ugh. Damn, this hurts so bad. I can hardly breathe. I would like to spend a moment with my sister, just me and her alone, before people arrive for the funeral and then... No, my bag is not here! My diary! Lapo's letter!
How is she? How is my daughter? Please, doctor. Please give me good news.
It's a miracle she's alive, Eric, but she will be all right. The bullet passed right by her heart and exited her chest. Unbelievably, it missed her lungs, spine, and heart. She could have been paralyzed or died. But thankfully, she's fine. I examined her thoroughly. She didn't even lose that much blood. She was lucky. And you were lucky, so to speak.
She was lucky that my wife went for a walk in the woods. Otherwise,
she would have bled to death, yes.
I don't know what to say. All of this, it's too much. So much death and suffering. Nothing more.
Don't worry, Eric. She's young, so she'll recover quickly. I'll be here all day anyway.
Thank you, Doctor, for everything. Do you mind coming with me to pick my wife up from the cemetery? The funeral will start soon in the chapel.
Of course not. Lead the way.
You know, with all of these preparations for the funeral, Irina wants everything to be perfect. It's her way of coping, so she doesn't have to think about everything going on. She is a woman. who has suffered so much. Maybe too much.
There's my bag. Thank God. Let's hope Lapo's letter is in there. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone, and I cannot reconcile myself to that fact. I have to stay hidden, and sadly I can't run to you, even if I would love nothing more than to hold you tight and cry together. No words. I just want to be close to you. Can we meet in the barn tonight? I will try my best to be there around midnight. Don't be alarmed, but if things get ugly, please remember this number, 6934. He knew he was in serious danger, but what about the letter? I had it in my hand when the soldiers ran off. Mummy found me, and if she's read it, well, she hates Lapo, and now she must know who I am. No, she probably would have left me there to die. She'd rather have no daughter than the wrong one. Before I passed out, I must have put it back in my bag. There is no other explanation. I have to see beyond appearances. There are those who betray me and speak ill of me, but someone will know how to give me the right advice. July 19th. I retrieved the cameras at the lake, but I had convinced myself that I was the one who had hurt Martha. So much so that when I had the rolls with me on the way home, I found myself in another horrible dream. I don't even remember going to sleep. As soon as I woke up, I developed the film. The photos confirmed to me that my memory of that night was correct. It was a great relief. I have decided to go back to the lake in an attempt to communicate with the White Lady. I know it's a crazy thought, but I can't get it out of my head. I need to know what happened to Martha, so I must pursue every possible avenue, even the path of insanity. I'm already dressed.
Violence against citizens continues in La Romola, and once again General K's family has come under fire. Now it is the life of her sister, Martha, that is in danger. The blow from the gunshot in her back could have killed her. It is only by the grace of
400
God that the
ISO
girl is
film.
alive.
It comes into its
The
own shooting
anti-fascist
clouds and
political motive
indoors.
appears to be the only reason behind the cowardly act. The New Zealand troops are advancing slowly. After the Battle of Port Gibbonsi on the 18th, they are still fighting.
General Edict K. New rules on curfew and women's behaviour. German command of S. Vincenzo Attori. Telephone number 1185.
testa fa girare sopra i campi in fiore. È arrivato il mezzogiorno, suono in aria, sento che potrei volare. Quanto è bello l'aviatore, vedo le brigate, sento il rumore del motore. Quanto è biondo l'aviatore, tutto il mondo fa sognare. Spira il cielo, spira il mare, ha uno sguardo mareatore. La mia testa fa girare, sopra i campi e stacchi in fiore.
Attempted murder in La Romola. After the murder of Julia Kay, today her twin sister is the victim of another attempted murder. The condition of the young girl, found by the German troops, is no cause for concern. The political motive behind this is becoming all the more clear. But that's not what happened. It's all wrong. Mummy was the one who found me. The German soldiers shot me. Best to stay quiet. No one ever believes the truth. New ordinance ban on the use of bicycles. Over the last few days, cyclists have once again shot at members of the Italian armed forces and at civilians in the streets. The offenders will be punished in accordance with German martial law. Even in Florence, the war is beginning to be felt. Supplies are starting to run out. Bread may only last a few more days. Prices are rising dramatically. Meat can now be found for 100 to 140 lira per kilo. The gas has been cut and there is no coal. I should pick up the phone but remain silent. If I let the caller speak first, I'll find out who it is.
Hello? Ma'am? Can you hear me? Is there somebody there? Mr. Eric?
It's the nanny. I can confide in her. Nanny? Hello, it's me.
What? Hello? Oh, my lord. I must be dreaming or something.
No, Nanny, you're not dreaming. It's really me, it's Julia.
Oh, my God. Julia, my little sparrow. How wonderful. Sorry, but I thought you were dead. I saw you lying there dead. This brings me so much joy that... Actually, you must explain to me, my little sparrow. What is happening?
I told Nanny everything that had happened. She was sad for Martha, of course, but very happy at the same time. I was the one she had a special bond with. I explained to her that I wanted to try and meet the White Lady, even if I knew it was a silly idea. But she didn't think I was a fool, quite the opposite. She explained to me what I should do in an attempt to meet her. It was complicated. I noted everything down carefully in my diary. Who knows, maybe she did it only to keep me occupied, while deciding what to do with me and who to warn. I won't ever know, though, because that very same day, a bomb struck the villa and she died. They all died. We should have been in that house ourselves, but instead... Poor Nanny. Bye, Nanny. I love you.
Goodbye, my darling. I thought I'd lost you. Be careful, my little sparrow.
Martha was taken to the chapel for her funeral. I want to say goodbye to her alone before everyone arrives. These are our vineyards. My father loved them so much that he constantly took photos of them. Poor little one. He's dead, poor little guy. His place is by Martha's side. Nanny always calls me Little Sparrow. This is the part of me that died with Martha. It'll be safe next to her. Here, Martha. This is my heart. Carry it with you. I'm starting to understand how painful your condition must have been. Not being able to properly communicate with anyone is becoming increasingly difficult. I envied you, but I did not see your suffering. I did not understand your courage. I miss you so much, Martha. I'm not worthy to dress in your clothes. That raven is making a big fuss. Maybe it's the same raven that killed that poor sparrow. I hate bullying, yet it seemed as if the raven wanted to bring the little bird back to life. Maybe only so it can kill it again. Commune of San Casciano, Province of Florence. Deaths. From the Register of Death Certificates of this commune, number 174, Part 3. Series 12 of the year 1944. It is certified that on the day of the 16th of July of the year 1944, Julia Kay has died, resident of Via Perciabaya, born in La Romola. On the 26th of February 1923, the daughter of General Erich Kay and Irene Kay, Don Attilio D. will give the funeral, and the esteemed Mr. Alberto M., who will look after the burial in the cemetery of La Romola. Telephone number 6537. The official state civil service. General Galeazzo T. Now I know what must be done to meet the lady. Nanny has explained everything to me. I must try to meet her early in the morning when it is foggy, or all will have been in vain. That's what the legend says. This is what I need to do. 1. I must re-invoke her loss by putting her into contact with her lover. To do this, Nanny said to look for his grave in the woods, but there are so many. Daddy always said that infrared photos can see what the naked eye cannot. Maybe then they also see ghosts. There wouldn't be anything strange about that now, considering I'm trying to contact one after all. How crazy. 2. A part of me needs to enter her world. A lock of hair would work, so I'll need scissors to cut some off. 3. I will need an object that connects her world to mine. I don't know what to do for this yet. Hopefully something will come to mind when I least expect it. 4. To communicate with her, I will need to use my tarot cards. I will meet with the lady on the island where her lover was executed. My mother's tailor scissors. Dress. It's made from the same fabric I found a shred of next to the lake. In fact, it is torn. It must be my mother's. My goodness. I started to suspect that Mummy could have been involved in Martha's murder. Lost in these thoughts, hours passed, and I completely forgot about the funeral. When I realized it was evening, they were already carrying the coffin towards the cemetery. She never loved me, I knew that well, but I would never have believed that. Had it been her? I struggled to believe it, but it made so much sense. At the lake, she must have thought Martha was me because she was convinced that I was dead. When the funeral ended, I felt an irresistible urge to play. I loved music. I started playing without thinking about the possible consequences. I didn't care anymore. I needed to feel alive, to exist again.
What's going on here? Julia? Is that you? No, it's not possible. Martha's never played. She's deaf, yet no. This is madness. My God. So, Martha? I understand now. You can get all of the attention, right? You were jealous, weren't you? Because she was a wonderful girl and you're just a useless little slut. How did you manage to convince her? I get it now. But she talked to me. No, it doesn't make sense. I will have you locked up in an asylum. You hear? That's enough. You will pay for what you've done, you cursed lunatic. They will torture you to reveal the monsters in your head.